Hi everyone, it's Jess, aka Colouring Bumblebee, and I'm back today with another video for you. Now it has been a few weeks since I've last recorded a video. I was not feeling very well a couple of weeks back, and it's just taken me a little bit longer to fully recover and feel ready to sit at my desk and colour and film some more videos for you. But I am feeling 100% better, took the time that I needed, and I'm thankful for everyone that continued to comment on my videos. I will be shortly going through and replying to all of them, as I do love to reply to all of your lovely comments. And I'm sorry that you've had to wait so long for this. It is the 14th, 15th? One second. It's the 15th of December today, so halfway through the month. But today I'm going to be showing you all of my completed pages for the month of November. And we're going to get straight into it today. The first page I coloured for the month was in Cozy Friends. This is by Coco Wyo. And I did a couple pages in here. I hadn't coloured in this book, so it was a previously untouched book. And the first one I did was this character portraits page. And I wanted to do this first, so I knew the colour combinations for all these cute little characters for the rest of the book. And I made note of the colours that I used here. I recently got the 216 set of the Ohuhu Honolulu brush markers, alcohol markers, and I love the colour range. I love using them, and I used them on this page, just used lots of bright fun colours. And I did a white outline around all of the characters just to make them really pop. And I kind of like the sort of sticker effect it gives. So that was the first page I coloured. That's a sneak peek of one that I did for December this month. And then I went and did this page, and I just thought this was a super cute page. I kept the colour palette really limited with just the brick tones, sort of natural browns, the blue for the raincoat, yellow for the umbrella and boots, and the green for the bushes and grass. And then I did a lot of white pen outlining, and I love these little kitties and colouring them different patterns. Yeah, really enjoyed colouring this one, and they are good sort of palette cleansers between more difficult pencil shaded pages. So that was Coco Wyo's Cozy Friends Cute and Comfy colouring book. Then I have Witches Around. This is by Usiku. Absolutely love Usiku and all of her colouring books. I did a whole monthly series in October where I coloured in her Lonely Pumpkin compilation book. I did loads of shorts of that. But this page was an outstanding whip from 2023. I based it with Ohuhu alcohol markers, my old set that I had. And I left it at that. I went into a colouring slump at the end of last year, and I didn't come back to this because it was very autumnal. And I thought, I need to finish this before the end of this autumn season. So I got out my polychromos, did all the pencil shading. I already have the colour combos for the girls set out for their hair, skin and eyes, and then the rest of it I make up at the time. Really enjoy the sort of natural autumnal colours, and I used a gold metallic gel pen on the butterflies because I had no idea what colour to do them, and then threw in some gold gel pen dots in the background just for good measure. I thought that gave it a nice fun effect without it being too busy to distract from the main image. So glad to have this long-term whip finished in Usiku's Witches Around colouring book, and now I feel like I can colour another page. Lovely book. Then my first buddy colour of the month was in Mythographic Mythical Beasts. This one is by Veronica Kolinska. She is a newer artist to the Mythographic series, and I absolutely love this book. I previously had done this Pegasus page, which is one of my favourites from the year, and I was watching a stream by Steve, the colouring commander, and he picked out this page and I said, do you want a buddy colour with it? And he said, sure. So we did this page together. The dragon in his cave, protecting all the treasure. Absolutely love colouring this. I based it with alcohol markers, the Ohuhu's new ones I got, and shaded over the top with my polychromos pencils, as I really love how they work in the Mythographic books, especially basing with the alcohol markers. It just makes it go so much quicker. I think I started with the wall and all the gold stuff because I knew the colours of those. It would be a warm grey and a goldy colour for the flooring. And then it came to the dragon and I was unsure, and I shared this page on a Whit Wednesday because I was undecided between blue or green. I didn't want to do red because Steve did his red, so I wanted to do something different, and I thought I'd tie it in with these gems at the bottom. And majority of people said green, so that's what I went with. And I really love this deep shade of green I used. I think I did the first layer and it was a lot lighter and I wasn't so much a fan of it. It was looking very bright and popping off the page, which it still does, but I deepened it a lot. I think I added some black to the shadows here. And then the last thing that I struggled with was the light rays and how to colour them. I wasn't sure if I wanted to base the colour underneath, base it with yellow. I had no idea. So I did a couple of tests on a sheet of paper. So for some of them, I did a base of yellow and shaded over the top with, say, the green here or the grey. Didn't like how that looked. It looked odd. And then I did one which was just yellow, basing with yellow, shading with a bit of yellow. That looked too bright. And then I did basing with the colour that's behind it, so basing it with the green. You can see here I based it with the light green and the grey for the walls, and then shaded over the top of that with a yellow pencil, and I think that was the perfect effect for this. So that's a technique that you can steal from me if you want. I mean, it's not my idea, it's just something that I played around with, but basing with the alcohol marker behind and then shading over the top with yellow creates this fun light ray effect. And then I went over the top with a yellow glitter gel pen to make it really sparkle and shine. I used a green glitter gel pen on some of the scales of the dragon, a black glitter gel pen on the bats here, and some gold metallic watercolour for the pearls down at the bottom. Really enjoyed colouring this, and thank you, Steve, for buddy colouring with me. I will move mine across and show you his page here. I loved the red dragon. I don't know why, but when I first saw him colouring this, I thought, you should do the dragon red. I think it would look great. And it looks awesome. That was a lot of fun. And that was the page I did, and the only mythographic I did this month in Mythographic Mythical Beasts by Veronica Kalinska. Okay, then we've got the massive Disney Vitro book that cannot fit in frame because it's so large. Just going to move my little sign out of the way there. And this I have joined as a group project, buddy colour group, with Megan from Meg's Colouring Corner, Claire from Claire Colours 1986, and Sophie from Sophie's Colouring Journey. And the page, I think this was actually picked for October. I always struggle to find it. Here we go. The page we picked for October was Hades here. Just trying to get it in frame is very difficult. I used Prismacolors for this page. I did Prismacolors for the first page I ever coloured in this book, and when I started this I initially planned to use my polychromos to see how that worked on the paper. But when it came to looking at the colours of Hades himself, these sort of muted blue-grey tones fit with the Prismacolors rather than the polychromos, so I thought I'm just going to do it all in Prismacolors as I like the effect, and it was a lot of fun. Doing these flames almost killed me. My hand was aching so much blending it all together, but I do like the final result. It wasn't necessarily the result I was looking for. I wanted a bit more sort of variation in tones, but it's done and I do like how it looks. It's nice and bright and bold, and Hades does definitely pop off the page. I'll move mine across and show you Megan's here. I think she was the only one who did it other than me, so I'll show you her amazing page here. I really love how she did the flames for her. And that was the page we did from Disney Vitro I think this is the first tome. It's a Art Therapy Hatchet Heroes book. Then another group, buddy colour group that I am a part of, or just recently joined a part of, was Fairy Tales and Folklore. This is by Emily Liederholt-Oberg. This was a much anticipated release in the colouring book community, as there was this petition put round to reprint the original version of this book, which was Sagarok Sagna, and it finally got reprinted into an English edition. And Doodle Robot started this group where we pick a page. There's a few options to vote on, and we pick a page, and this was the page picked for October. I was late finishing it. This was October's page, and it was this sleeping dragon. And when I saw it, I knew I wanted to do a teal dragon, something a little bit different. And then I wasn't sure about the rest of the colours, so I went looking through my colour cubes and found this one, and I kind of like the idea of doing this sort of blue-grey slate coloured rock work, which was definitely challenging because I use polychromos and there's not that kind of colour in there. So I did a lot of blending with the grey and pale blue pencils and some fading it out with white, and I think it does look quite effective. And then I brought in this purple tone for the house here. My idea was to do black for the accents to make it really pop off the page, but it kind of ended up looking like Disney's Haunted Mansion, which wasn't my intention, but I still like how it looks. I love the contrast between the green and the purple. It's really effective. And then I did a black acrylic paint for the background to make everything pop off the page, and went back in with a silver glitter gel pen. This is my favourite one. It's the, I can never remember what brand it is. I think it's the Pentel, what's it called? Pentel Dual Metallic Hybrid. Love the gold and silver glitter gel pen. There's lots of glitter in there. It's super sparkly. And I also added some green glitter gel pen to the dragon to make him look a bit more special as well. I'm super glad to have my first page coloured in this book, and thank you to Doodle Robot for creating this group and inspiring myself as well as many others to colour in it. They have picked out another page. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it, am I? It's the Deer and Ornaments page for December. Oh, there's a whip. Sneaky peek. I think I have showed that on my Whips of the Week video at some point. Not there. Here it is. This is the page we're doing. I'm really looking forward to that. Not sure what colours I'm going to go for. Don't know whether to go traditional or something more modern. Going to have to look for some colour palette inspiration, I think. But that is Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Liederholt-Oberg. And then I have this Japanese book from the Tokimeki colouring book series. This is Journey Through Fairy Tales with My Little Friends from the Forest by Sayuri Kobayashi. And I started the character page last month, and I just finished it off this month. I'd done all of their fur and skin, I don't know, all of their actual characters' colour combinations, and I've got them recorded here on a piece of paper. And then all I did in November was colour their outfits. I really enjoyed adding this pink plaid pattern to her dress. I think that looks really cute. I love the yellow on the squirrel, it really pops off the page. Yeah, I just really like how this all came together. It was pretty simple and straightforward, but it's a great reference that I can look back at when I colour the rest of the pages, because these characters do repeat. They wear different clothes, but I want their fur to stay the same colour, so I like doing that at the start of my colouring book. The only other page I'd coloured in this was this one, and whilst I was colouring it, I was going back and forth with the character profile page to make sure that I was getting the exact same colours and recording them down, so they were ready to go for future ones. So that is Journey Through Fairy Tales by Sayuri Kobayashi. Then I have a Disney colour by number book, and This was waiting for me when I arrived to my lovely friend Zoe's house at Zoe's Cozy Colouring. She did a lyric order and I added some books to it, and this was waiting for me there, so I thought I'd colour a couple of pages from it whilst I was staying with her for a few days. This was the first page I did, this cocoa page. Absolutely loved colouring it, loved all the colours. And when I do the colour by number books, I do the black outline with a black paint pen. It is by Artisto. And the shade and the colours, I use my Crayola Super Tips mainly. So I did that one, and then I did this one. I think I started this at Zoe's and finished it a few days later at home by myself. It was very tricky to match the colours for this one. I didn't have some exact matches, but I think it turned out okay. This orange for Toulouse down here I thought was too bright and vibrant. Thomas O'Malley is meant to be the same colours as him, but I changed it after doing that one because I was like, that orange is not the right tone. So I changed it for a more muted one, much prefer how he looks. But those were the only two colour by number pages I did during November, which is unusual for me. Usually I do, I don't know, around 10, but I was too busy colouring other pages. So that's Disney's Family. Then I did one in 50 Woodland miniatures. This was a buddy colour with Nikki from Knick Knack Colours. Quite a few in this book now, but we did this really cute beaver with the pencils. And my first idea for this page was to do the pencils rainbow coloured. There's only 4, so you can't do a full rainbow. You'd have to pick and choose your rainbow colours. And I left them till last because I wasn't sure. I think I did the greens first, and then I did the beaver and the mushrooms and like the wood of the pencils. And then when it came to the pencils themselves, I thought I want to keep the colour palette cohesive, so I kept it to sort of yellowy, green, orange tones. And I love how it looks. It was a super easy page. I used my Ohuhu alcohol markers for this and added some white paint pen for the highlights. I drew in this border here just to make it simple, and I like how bright and bold it is. Really fun. I will move mine across and show you Nikki's here. She did a lovely job, and thank you for buddy colouring with me in this book because it means I've got another page done. I think I've done 5 or 6 now. Yeah, I've done 6. I make these little trackers for myself to put in the back of my 50 miniature books so I can see how many I've done. So that is 50 Woodland Miniatures by Camelia Angelkova. Then I have one of my project books. I was not the best at colouring in my project books this last month, and I do apologise to the people that I buddy with in my projects. I've been struggling to colour them. I don't know why, but I did manage to get this one done, and I was the one to pick this month. So I picked out this one because Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos, is on the 1st of November. So I thought this would be a perfect page for November. And I was inspired by Coco for this colour palette. It's got lots of dark purples, yellows, oranges, bright pinks. I had an absolute blast colouring this. Coloured this in one sitting, based it with alcohol markers. And I think it was quite late in the day, sort of 8 or 9 p.m. And I thought I'll just base it and then I'll shade it in the morning. But I couldn't put it down, so I shaded it that same night. I used Prismacolors to shade, Ohuhu alcohol markers to base, and I just love it. It really pops off the page. I like the black background. And I will move mine across and show you all the others here. Oh, I haven't said who this is a project book with. It's with Jo from Geordie Colours. I'll show hers here. Amy from Colouring with Amy, and I'll show you hers here. And it was Nikki from Knick Knack Colours, and I'll show hers here. So thank you to everyone. I love how different ours all turned out. And I've just noticed, for the very first time, my alcohol marker has yellowed on the other page. This was the black, my new Ohuhus. I've never had an alcohol marker do that in any of my books, so that's interesting. Has it done it on the next page? Very, very faintly. You won't be able to see this on camera. I mean, it won't be a trouble to cover it up, but that's interesting. I know I've heard of other people's alcohol markers yellowing on the next page, but I've never actually experienced it myself. So that's a bit of a shame, but I think that's just the black one, so I know to sort of use that sparingly. But I'm absolutely loving colouring in this book. We've done quite a few pages now. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages. And the page we are doing next is the Northern Lights one. I think I've already gone past it maybe. Or is it at the back? Maybe it's at the back. But you can see I've got a lot of work to do with my project still. Here we go. This is the page we're doing for December. I think everyone else has already done theirs, so I've got to make sure I get mine done before the end of the month. But I have an idea for a colour palette and I'm looking forward to colouring it. That is Matchstick Mouse, a Big Adventure Colouring Book by Morgan O'Brien. Then I have one of my favourite colouring books purchased from 2024. In fact, I should do that as a video. What are my favourite purchases from this year? This will definitely be on it. This is Colouring Book for a Bright Day Together by Stella Park. It is a Korean colouring book. I got mine from Aladdin, but I believe you could probably find it on Etsy as well. And this was the page I coloured. I'd been itching to colour in this for a while. I'd only actually coloured one page previous to this, and that was in the spring section, this umbrella page. And I have started another one that I'll just chip away at every now and then because it's quite a detailed one. But I wanted to get something done in the autumn section, and I loved this one of them raking up the leaves. I thought it was really cute. And the way I do these is try and replicate this as best as I can. And one of my favourite things about it is how sketchy the colours are. It means that if you have some pencil texture, it looks quite natural and like it goes to the page. So I believe I started with the green door. I really enjoyed colouring that. I've been using polychromos in this book because they blend beautifully. You can layer them, you can sort of mix different colours by layering them together, and they create this nice sort of muted look that we have on the finished artwork. But I coloured the top half first and then I did the bottom half, and I wasn't so much a fan of this sort of yellowy green colour for the grass, so I changed it to a more orangey brown tone. And I really love the final result of my page and how it does look similar to this, and you can see that I have tried to replicate it, but I've made it my own. And I definitely want to colour in this for Christmas. I have flagged a few pages as possibilities, and I'm really looking forward to colouring in this book again. As I said, one of my favourite books that I got this year. That is a colouring book for a Bright Day Together by Stella Park. Then I have Johanna Basford's newest book, Magical Worlds, and you will have seen this on the channel as my very first colour along. And I did the Mossy Isles page, which was part of her competition for the month. And because whenever she releases a new book, she does a competition for the page. You upload it on her website, and she picks 3 random winners, which I absolutely love because it means that everyone can feel like they can participate, regardless of skill, ability. It's so hard to judge people's pages because they look beautiful for different reasons, so I like how she does it randomly so everyone has a fair shot of winning, and it's more about the colouring and having fun with it. And I definitely had fun with this page. I picked out a few colour palettes. I really loved the bright colours of this one, and I like the brown tones of this one for the rockwork, so I incorporated those two together. I used polychromos for the whole page, really loved how they performed in this book, and just took it sort of section by section. I think I did all the brown first, and I did all the green, and then I started mapping out the colours, so I knew this is water, so that would be the blue colour. I wanted to make these mushrooms pink, these flowers purple, and then it was just about making sure that they were distributed nicely across the page. This was a buddy colour with the lovely digital colouring book on Instagram. I'll move mine across and show you theirs here. I absolutely love how their page turned out. You can see they've used lots of glittery goodness on their page. Completely different vibe. Theirs is more dark and moody, whereas Mine's bright and cheerful, but that's the best thing about buddy colours, the different results that you get between the pages. But yeah, that was my first page coloured in this book. I didn't want to leave it hanging for too long, like I tend to sometimes, because this book was released. Was it released in November or October? Recently. It was released recently. That was Johanna Basford's Magical Worlds. Then I did a page in 50 Mythical Miniatures by Camellia Angelkova. And the reason I coloured in this is because Melissa from Winter89 Colours on Instagram and YouTube, she is doing a project in this called, I believe the hashtag is Project Mythical Minis. I haven't actually uploaded any of my finished pages to that hashtag. I've been terrible at Instagram recently, but hopefully one day maybe you'll see a spam from me, I'm not sure. But she has been picking 4 pages a month, and I've been colouring here and there, really enjoying it. I think I've done 3 pages in it so far this month. But one of the pages picked for November was the Centaur page. Really loved this. I coloured it with the Ohuhu alcohol markers, and I kept it to this very autumnal colour scheme. I liked how it was mostly framed within these trees. You just had to sort of add a little line there at the top. And I thought a nice dark blue would contrast it beautifully. Added a few dots for stars in the background. I added a shiny metallic moon because I thought that would be fun with a silver gel pen. Yeah, this was just a lot of fun to colour, and this book is starting to fill up. As I said, I've done 3 more pages this month, but I will not be sharing them with you. That is 50 Mythical Miniatures by Camellia Angelkova. Big thank you to Melissa for hosting the group buddy colour. Can't wait to colour some more in here. Then I have another buddy colour. This was from Tales from the Witch's Cottage, and this was a book that was randomly spun for November, and the page we did was this flower here, and I knew I wanted to use the same colours as I did on this page. Got a bit of transfer on that one actually, but that's okay. And on this one I used Prismacolors for colouring this, just like I did on this page, and I wasn't sure whether I wanted to use all of the same colours on this to this page, or if I wanted to keep it very limited. And I decided to keep it really limited, so I used this pinky reddish colour for the flower and some accents on the frame, used the green for the leaves, and then this sort of peachy beigey colour that I used on the house here. I omitted the brown and the orange because I just couldn't see a way of maybe doing it. Well, I could, but I didn't like it. I like how it's limited and how it really complements the other page. And I thought for the background it would have to be a black background just to make it really pop off the page. Kind of gives this sort of like, it's a mirror effect, I think. And for the border I used a gold metallic gel pen, which hasn't dried super shiny. I used the Uniball Signo, which does have sort of a more subtle shine to it, but I like the sort of natural gold it is. I really enjoy using it. And this was a buddy colour with Nikki from Nikki Jane on Instagram. I'll move mine across and show you hers here. She did an absolutely lovely job, and thank you for reaching out to buddy colour in this book, because I really wanted to colour this page after doing this one in September. Yes, September. And I'm not sure if I would have made myself colour it if it wasn't for a buddy colour. So thank you, Nikki. And another page done in Hannah Carlson's Tales from the Witch's Cottage. Then it was getting towards the end of the month, and I was looking at my collection and thinking, oh my gosh, I still haven't coloured in 50 Autumn Miniatures. I believe I bought this at the start of September in the hopes of colouring a bunch of pages for the autumn season in this book, and using Yolanda at Colouring Biker Mamas Camellia Angelkova prompts to help me colour a bunch of pages in this. But I was taking on a lot of buddy colours, not having as much time to colour in these books. October was taken up by my Lonely Pumpkin series, and I just didn't get around to touching this. So before the end of the month, I coloured this one oh, looking back, I absolutely love it. You know when you open a book and you kind of forget about colouring something and you're pleasantly surprised? That's one of these pages. I decided that I wanted to do a bit of experimenting with my alcohol markers, so I did this very blended look for the leaves. You can see all the blending on the back side of the page. I used the Ohuhu alcohol markers. I think I picked 3 autumnal shades, a brownish red, an orange and a yellow, and just kind of applied them. I started with the darkest shade and then I went lighter and lighter as I went, and just blended it all together. I kind of liked the sort of messy look it gave. I thought it was really cute and it was really fun to try something new. And then I kept the rest of the image simple with brown tones and grey for the mouse, lots of white pen for the highlights, and I believe this went for the prompt squirrel and acorn, and maybe even autumn leaves. I think it went for a lot of prompts by Yolanda, so thank you to her for helping me choose a page to start in this book. Really glad that I got one done in 50 Autumn Miniatures by Community Angel Cova. Then a whip that I had been working on for the last 2 months. This was a buddy colour with Kim at I Am My Pet 2 on Instagram, and the page we coloured together was this one, and I am so happy with it. I've been calling it the Mice and Mushrooms page, and it took me a long time. I started with the mushrooms. I think I started with these red ones. I used polychromos for all of the pencil work for this page, and an Ohuhu soft pastel in the background. But I think I started with this red mushroom, and I decided I wanted to go very blendy, very natural looking, lots of layers, which I don't often do because I usually can't be bothered to do lots of layers with my polychromos, even though it works beautifully and it produces some amazing results. I like a quick colouring process. I like the finished result, so I don't tend to do layers. But oh my gosh, these results of these mushrooms, I think, is just some of my favourite colouring I've done of the year. I just enjoyed every minute of it. I sort of picked it up and did a little mushroom cluster or some of the leaves every few days or something like that. It did take a long time. Thank you, Kim, for being really patient with me, but I love the finished result. Then it got to the end and I had the flowers left to do, and I was like, I wanted to do blue flowers, so I did it like they were bluebells. I thought that was really cute. Then it came to these little bunches here, and I thought I don't really want to introduce any more colours. I did think about doing purple, but then it would kind of look a bit rainbowy, honestly. So I thought I'd bring in some of this same red to sort of yellowy tone for these flowers, and then bring in a bit of yellow as well. Nice sort of soft creamy colour. Yeah, absolutely love the page. I'll move mine across and show you Kim's beautiful page here. She did an amazing job. Thank you so much for buddy colouring with me. And this is my first page I finished in this book, so thank you for helping me work in an untouched book. So glad to get another one of Kanoko Agusa's book coloured. And that is Kingdom of Curious Creatures by Kanoko Agusa. Then I have Colouring Heaven Pocket Fairy Tales. This includes illustrations by Selena Fennick. And this is a project book with Lil from Poles Colouring. We pick a different page each month, and the one we did for November was Snow White. Really enjoyed colouring this. Based it with Ohuhu alcohol markers, shaded over the top with Prismacolor pencils, as that's what I've been doing for all of the pages in this book so far. And I've just really enjoyed the results and the finish of it, and sometimes I like to keep a book cohesive with a similar looking style, so even though the colours are different, they have a similar finish, a similar sort of aesthetic to it. I like that look. So that is my 4th page done in this book, and I just really enjoyed colouring, especially the animals. I thought they were so cute, and keeping Snow White's dress similar to the Disney version, I added a tiny bit of gold metallic pen on her hat here and on some of the lining of the dress. I will show you Lil's here. Ours look pretty similar because we were both inspired by the Disney version of Snow White. I think most people are, with the sort of yellow and blue dress. but I absolutely love how hers turned out. And I'm looking forward to our next one, which is the Elves and the Shoemaker. We thought would be fun for Christmas. There we go, this one. And I think I want to go very Christmassy with this, using reds and greens. I think that's going to be really fun. So thank you, Lil, for colouring in this book with me every month. That is Colouring Heaven Pocket Fairy Tales by Selena Fenwick. Then this is the final book I have to show you today. This is, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank, Mikiko Inotome's Wild Mouse Yuru's Journey Sketchbook. And the page I did was this one, the Autumn Season title page. And again, loved colouring this. I had a real thing about mushrooms this month. I realised when I coloured this page, I've done a lot of mushrooms and I've really enjoyed it. I think they're my new thing. I really like colouring mushrooms, especially with the Polychromos pencils, which is what I used for this book page as well. And I really love the colour of the leaves as well. I recorded down the colours here so I can copy them across to this page. And this was a buddy colour with Veronica Dunn 66 over on Instagram. She is a super quick colourist, and she did this page, plus this page, plus I want to say this page. I will show you all of hers because I love the cohesive background she's done for all of them. But for this, as I said, I used Polychromos for the main image, soft pastel for the background, and a gold, why do I always want to say gold silver metallic pen? A gold metallic gel pen by Uniball. And that is simply because I did the same for the summer season, and I did the same for the spring season. So I am so close to getting all of the season pages done. I've just got the winter season left, which I am hoping to colour soon, along with this page. I love this page. So let me open mine up again, move mine to the side and show you all of the pages that Veronica did here. She did an amazing job. Love how the images pop off the dark blue background that she used across all of her pages. Super fun. So there we have it. Those are all of the pages I coloured for the month of November. It was the smallest amount of pages that I've coloured so far this year, only 19, which I know for a lot of people is a lot of pages. But coming off of October when I did, I think it was 44, was a lot fewer, but I was out of action for the last week, sort of first few days of December. But feeling better now. Finally got back into colouring halfway through the month. And I think I'm going to focus on the Christmas pages now. And I'm contacting my outstanding buddy colours just to say that I will not forget them and be doing them in the new year. But let me know in the comments below which of my pages from this month was your favourite. Oh, what was my favourite? Let me think. Okay, I couldn't pick one, so I picked two. I picked Colouring Book for a Bright Day Together. Just love the autumnal colour palette of this page. And I picked the Mice and Mushrooms page from Kingdom of Curious Creatures, just because it took me so long. So proud of the results. And I just love how my colouring looks with Kanoko Agusa's line work. I think it always turns out beautifully. So those are my two favourites. Let me know what was yours. If it was a different page, love to hear it. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.